commentary about China versus scenario. Okay, so is a war. You, it is either you like it or not. This is about you and China. So this battle will happen in, maybe, hopefully not, but actually it is well planned by the U.S. Security Department long ago that it should be happening in the Philippines over Taiwan. So it is a Philippines and Taiwan will be caught in the fight. So I just want to warn everybody in the Philippines, or I just warn everybody, all the citizens in the Philippines, around the world, just because we, the Filipino, is around the world, that whenever you hear propaganda that is surely that is about instigating war between China and Philippines or US and Philippines, do not buy it directly. Remain calm and check to legit sources, or you have to be very vigilant of this, just because you have to remember when they pull out in Afghanistan, they moved to Ukraine. Why is that? Just because there is a policy in the USA that is called perpetual war. Now, in the Philippines again, even with our sitting president is Bongbong Marcos Jr. has been, I don't know why his platform is different after he sit as a president in our country. Even before we try to select the best president in the Philippines, we voted him to think that he will continue the Duterte administration on non alliance. I mean, friend to all, enemy to no one policy. Okay, it is the policy that have been long ago never been experienced in our history. Just because all of the sitting president previously before the Duterte administration was really submissive to American or to the United States, to Washington. So orders. Now, here it is again. The China, it always like everything about China is bad. So there is the China is claiming islands over the West Philippine, in the West Philippine Sea, or so that it say that it is inside the Philippine Economic Zone, or EZ. Okay. However, you don't want to forget, or don't ever forget, that not only China is not only the China is the not only the China country is claiming the West Philippine Sea. There is Brunei, I mean Vietnam and Malaysia and so on, and Japan. However, the China claim all of that. So here is my perspective about China. China is being pushed toward the corner by United States using the allied countries supposed to be its allied. However, it was not written as is. It is being pushed toward the corner. If you think that China is aggressive in that action, try to place it in yourself. What will you do if you are being forced toward the corners and being cornered? Now, everything is China's fault. Everything is China. China is evil. Now, you don't want to forget that what was the action of the United States after World War II? They are in perpetual war from countries to other countries all over the world. They may replace the leader, that fully democratic elected leader, and also they may stage a coup. They may fund the terrorism, and later they will claim that they will go there in that country and fight terrorism. However, the terrorism is created by themselves, just like ISIS. They created ISIS and they go there for the reason that they are going to fight ISIS. Now, the same strategy will happen here in the Philippines in the future, and now it is the beginning. The ramification of the impending wars that will happen in the Philippines is very, very worse than Ukraine, I think. Some of us might die with that. Okay, what my message is, we will be vigilant. Okay, what they did in Ukraine since 2004, the democratically elected president is overthrown by Orange Revolution, and in 2014 again, the same president they overthrown in 2004. In 2014, they overthrown it again. The same method, the same tactic that that president is well aligned in Russia. So the NATO and USA don't want that. Anyone who is a leader of a country that is aligned with them or do not take order from them is even is overthrown or killed, just like Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia king before was very vocal on opposing Israel. Now, what is happening is he is killed. So we don't know who is killing him. Okay, all right, we don't know. So based on the study and all other sane American citizen or content creator, of course, the primary suspect was the Western or their countries. Now, just because their countries was the one primarily supported the establishment of Israel. Now, let's come back to Philippines situation today when our sitting president is Bongbong Marcos Jr., which suppose he learned a lot about her dad, her father, being treated as uh, as a second hand citizens and being kidnapped to Hawaii. So I hope that Bongbong Marcos is way better than his father, just because of course there is history about his father. Of course we expect that he'll learn from it. Now, what will happen is today he allow more than 5 bases on the Philippines of America. So it has deter the China from bullying us. It does not, just because what is the position of China over in the Philippines, West Philippine Sea is not about, is not all about claiming it. Of course, it resorted of claiming it just because in that situation that the China is pushed into the corner, that nothing else to the what can you do? You are uh, you are pushed to the corner, and what else you think the China can do? So, for my opinion, in order for China to protect herself, is to establish a stronghold in the West Philippine Sea. That stronghold, in order to protect herself from the hostility from the United States, not in the Philippines. Of course, Philippines never been a threat to China. However, now it's clearly that Philippines is a threat to China. Not anymore. Before, the Philippines not threat to China, but now that there is a lot of American military bases in the Philippines, it is not anymore a safe uh, country for China. It is a threat, just like Ukraine. Now, what will you do? China establishing a island with uh, airfields and a lot of air defense and what any military components and buildings. It is surely that what I am suspected is about protecting herself against the possible and impending invasion, or just because the United States is very vocal. They do not hide it. They always has the kind of military uh, war training. Okay, so what was that about war training? It is about focus in China. So they are making a imaginary enemy. So who is that imaginary enemy? It is not Japan, it is not Philippines, it is not Korea or North Korea. It is to be China. Now, in order for that to happen, that imaginary enemy, which is supposed that imaginary enemy, however, that imaginary enemy is actually really true. Now, if you are going to analyze with that, if you are going to compare it with Ukraine, the same thing will happen with our country, just because the people is really okay. I don't think we can call it a simpleton, but it's almost like that. It's really hard to compare the person that the child and adults, just because when it comes to adults, they really think drastically and without even uh, consulting it to third-party sources. So whatever the network, the TV is broadcasting, they likely want to believe it. Now, what I'm saying is, what happened in Ukraine might be happening to us. So Ukraine president democratically elected president was overthrown two times. One in 2004, second in 2014. Okay, so there is, however, today our president is really supportive in the United States, having bases inside the Philippines in order to, in their perspective, maybe in order to deter China. However, long year ago, during Ninoy term, the island being created by the Chinese in West Philippine Sea, where did they get the land, that swell? It actually get from Sambales. You know, that is that kind of scandal is never been published in news media. Something was really tricky about that. Why would the Chinese talk all of that soil from Zambales in order to build their bases or that island in the West Philippine Sea? Secondly, there is what we call the shared oil exploration between China and the Philippines, which is China is allowed to explore oil resources in the West Philippine Sea. That is joint exploration agreement. And even before, Chinese oil exploration ship is docked in the Philippine country, visiting the Philippine country during President Gloria Aquino. Now, it is really kind of tricky. Are there any treason thing that happened during Noynoy Aquino that they are selling our soil for China to build their islands? That's the question. Why are there is no investigation about that? And it is just like vanishing in the air without having any traces. Alright, I just want to tell you one thing. There is a lot of traitors here in the Philippines. They are they are in different color, but they are up, up for 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 the profit. So whoever they are the one contributing all of the crisis that will be happening in our country, and that is very sad. Just because we have children to protect, and I'm worried. You must also worry about it. Just because you have children to protect, in case of a nuclear war, of course we are the closer target, and we don't have enough uh, nuclear bunkers to hide. So where we gonna go? Where we are going to keep our children to be safe? We don't have that. Unlike United States before, during Cold War with USSR, they have a lot of bunkers. I think every citizen, every family is required to have their bunkers at home. Now, the Philippines has it? No, they don't have. I think maybe I heard the story about in Holusulu there is what they call foxhole. Every house there has foxhole, but it is not